Hello, I'm Simon Groom, broadcaster and farmer, and I'm here to find out how John Bowler has been able to turn free-range egg production into a profitable business opportunity. Today, there's a lot of talk about free-range and high-welfare farming, but I know that in the current agricultural climate, making a good profit off your land isn't easy. And as a landowner myself, I'm keen to find out exactly what's involved. Hi John, how are you? Great pleasure to meet you. I've heard all about you.
They tell me you're a farmer as well.
Yes, we have a sheep flock and a grand total of 25 hens. Not quite in your league.
Oh well, you could be. Come in.
Okay, you can teach me some things. In terms of the current agricultural climate, I'm just wondering how free-range egg production compares with other farming enterprises. How buoyant is it these days, John?
Free-range egg production, I would say, compares exceptionally favourable, really favourable. In the early days, a lot of people said this free-range job won't last, make the most of it. But as time's progressed, a lot of farming enterprises have gone downhill and our operation's gone uphill. So yeah, and it fits in very well with other farming enterprises, you know, like it doesn't have to replace your dairy, it doesn't have to replace your beef or sheep, it can be run in conjunction. And then you bolt on a free-range chicken unit onto an existing enterprise and your profits actually explode.
And what's wrong with going it alone?
There's nothing wrong with anybody wanting to go it alone, but you know, how can anybody start a new business up and be as successful as what we are when we've got 30 years of experience? It's like me trying to do your job. You know, you've had all these years and years, and I walk in and think I can do it. Yeah, I can read a book, I can talk to people, but you can't beat that practical experience of knowing how to do it. You've got to feel the cloth, as they say in the trade. You've got to feel it. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to look at a chicken and realise there's a problem. It's just experience, and you can't really express it into words.
And you're adamant you can offer your producers security.
Security, yes, we offer a long-term contract, which is very, very important. A contract's not worth a lot of money when there's a shortage of eggs. When there's a surplus of eggs, that contract's worth a lot. And a lot of people forget that, you know, whilst you're producing eggs for a growing market, you do get periods where supply and demand just get out of the sync. So we have to wait for it to balance up. So yeah, we have never reneged on a contract. We've always collected our eggs. We're very proud of that fact.
Andrew, I gather you're almost part of the fixtures and fittings at Bowler's. Tell me a little bit about your background in the company.
Well, I joined John about 12 years ago. I'm from a farming background, and I applied for a position with him on the HGVs driving the lorries. So I spent nearly 2 years with him driving around the country, visiting existing franchises over that period of time. And because I'd already got the interest in it and from farming side, that John said, well, we'd like to start advancing more on the management side with the hens. So therefore I came off the lorries and we started the farm field consultancy.
Going back to the start-up procedure for the producers, what would you say are the key stages, Andrew?
On the start-up side of it all, after we've assessed around and we've got to get through the planning side, full detailed planning required. After those stages we start moving on with, we've got to look at water supplies, electricity supplies, the services which are coming in. Then we've got to start thinking about the finances as well. We're very keen at Bowler's to make sure it always works on paper before we do anything else. And the big part of that is the infrastructure costs. And with this team that's building side of it all, we can assess the ground, take levels, do budget costs with it all, and also then working with our finance department that the two are going to come together. So we can actually take under our wing really all the groundworks themselves from a greenfield site as this, or we can just do from the building part with all the equipment. But it's a full turnkey operation, so when we finish the site, the client turns up into the shed and everything totally is included in the package.
It seems to me, Andrew, that your hands-on experience over all those years, both as an employee and as a producer, has got to be invaluable for you to pass on to new producers.
Yes, really, because we're background with John enables me to do the process of the building, the planning, setting everything up from there. But from a producer point of view, you know, I've actually been in that position where we've got the house and, you know, finances side with it all. So I can see it from both coins, from both sides of it all, and be able to give people confidence in the early stage of it all and proceed it through to a full build and watch it all progress to the birds going in. You know, it is really invaluable from there, because at the end of the day for us it's not like a new enterprise with the tool, it's something what we've been doing for many years, so we can move forward with confidence all the way through, from right from the beginning to when the birds are housed.
Tony, it seems that planning and preparation are a crucial part of getting started, and I know that bowlers have a 95% success rate when it comes to gaining planning permission. That's an impressive figure. What's your secret?
Yes, I mean, it is quite a high figure. It's to do really with our experience, the number of applications that we put in. We're putting an awful lot of applications in each month. As you can imagine, with that turnover, we see most questions, we see most of the objections. And what we've now put together is a pack that goes in with each application, and it answers effectively all the questions that are raised during the course of a planning application. So when the planning officer sees it, they have many reasons as they need to grant an application rather than refuse it.
Obviously you have a strong legal team. I mean, there's yourself with a master's degree in environmental law, and having that level of expertise must really help the job.
But as being part of that degree, there was a planning element to it, and so together we work well as a team.
Toby, you're on your third flock with the John Bowler franchise and expanding, so things are obviously going very well for you, but I want to go right back to the beginning to find out what happened when you first signed up with Bowlers. How did you get started?
Well, the first thing was Andrew came out, visited the farm and assessed the whole farm, and particularly the field we were considering for the hens, looking both at the access, but particularly that we had the right number of acres, and that they were all in the right layout, so they could practically be used and met with the legislation for the planning application for the shed. Again, the planning team really took on all the queries. They hadn't not seen anything before, and they knocked them on the head.
The financial side of something like this can be quite daunting. What's been your experience?
It's certainly a substantial amount of money to invest. Again, I found the Bowler team very supportive. I am a particular fan of the cash flows. They do a monthly cash flow for each flock. I was able to use that to clearly establish the return on capital that I was going to expect. And that I found very useful for both the bank manager and convincing other partners that this was a good way forward.
Mick, you're responsible for the financial planning, a crucial part of the initial setup process. Briefly, how does your business package work?
Well, I get involved at the appropriate time with producers on a one-to-one basis, sit down and discuss their personal financial situation, and using that information build a 3-year detailed forecast and budget programme, plus a 25-year business summary. Now, there are two main advantages to that. Firstly, it helps convince the client that what they're proposing is right for them, but using our in-house expertise, it also helps us to put together what we think is an attractive package for the funder.
Now, you spent many years as a bank manager, so no doubt you bring many years invaluable expertise to this job here at Bowlers.
Well, I like to think so. I mean, part of the idea is that not only can I see it from the producer's side of the table, I can also see it from the bank side of the table, if you like. So theoretically, anything we do put forward, we like to think has got a good chance of being passed.
You have a state-of-the-art computer system. How does that link into the business?
Yeah, it's been developed over time, and part of going through the process is it's important that you then monitor subsequent performance. And based on our computer package, you have got access to a cash flow screen which details payments to and from your bank account. There's also a profitability screen, which means that any given week you can monitor actual performance against target figures.
Toby, you've got your agreement with John Bowler. You're going to start building. Just talk me through the building process. How big a disruption was that for you?
Oh, not too bad at all. The building was done on land we'd set aside for the range, so the shed going up was not disruptive at all.
There's a considerable amount of automated equipment in the shed. What does it all do?
Well, I suppose importantly, we have the automated feeding and watering systems. And the ventilation that you see on top of the buildings, that regulates the atmosphere within the building, and that's all automated. And even the pop holes that the birds come in and out of, they're automated, which helps maintain a very standard day for the birds.
So Toby, your 16 to 18-week-old pullets have arrived. How much support do you continue to get from bowlers at that stage once you're up and running?
Well, at that stage, field sport really are coming out at least once a week. I was seeing a lot of Sam Bowler then, who goes and offers support to the new producers, and he's got a wealth of experience really for that stage, and answered any questions that I had. On top of that, there was the phone support, so that even if there wasn't anyone there, I could get hold of someone 24/7.
That is fantastic. Do you still use that? I mean, though you're now an established producer, do you still regularly phone in for advice?
Oh yes, they probably heard enough of me, but once or twice a week I'm always on the phone.
And of course all you producers use the Bowler Bible, the manual that they've developed over some 25 years. Just how useful has that been to you as a producer?
Well, that's a stalwart. I didn't use that a lot at the beginning, but even now, 3 flocks in, I refer to it fairly regularly. Last month I had a question on day length and adjusting it slightly with the longer summer days.
That was helpful again?
Yes, indeed. I found the answer to my query was there.
Well, the manual is absolutely crucial, so shall we go and have a closer look?
Yes.
Okay. Lead on. Right, Toby, here's the trusty manual. It looks certainly a very comprehensive list here. Just give us some idea of the range of topics it covers.
Well, Simon, is a fairly weighty tome, but really it covers every aspect of egg production. And for me, I find it's very clearly sectioned. If I can look down the side here, you've got all the headings. And for example, we've got feed. You would have thought feed might just come on the lorry and go in, but I think there are a dozen or 15 pages on every aspect of anything you might want to know about feeding the birds and when they should have it.
Very, very impressive. I don't think they've missed much out, have they?
Not at all, and frankly, if you've still got a question at the end of the day, pick up the phone.
Excellent. Sam, you head up the team of specialists and consultants who support the producers. Can you tell me about the role the field support officers play?
Ultimately, we're there to maximise their profit. This is done through technical know-how and a lot of common sense. Also, we keep the farmers within the legal boundaries, which is very important. And also we inform them of any new legislation that comes out, which is becoming more and more as time goes on.
I know you have fantastic backup system at John Bowler. Tell me how that works.
Well, it's 24/7, and the great thing is we've seen most problems before, so usually we can solve it quite easily. We're always contactable, which, you know, when you've got a issue, whether it be day-to-day management or even possibly a health issue, that's very important.
Now, if you've got a new producer and you're actually setting up a new farm, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, all we do is replicate a successful formula which we've learnt over many years and put it onto other farms. It's really quite simple.
Hazel, you're part of the team of consultants and specialists who support the new producers and help to get them started. How important is it to get the right pullet from day one?
This is absolutely vital. As in any business, if you haven't got the right tools, you can't do the job effectively. And in this instance, we can't expect the birds to lay well if they aren't good birds in the first place. In order to do that, we monitor the birds throughout rear, and each flock of pullets will get at least 3 visits from us throughout the rearing process.
Amanda, you're on your 3rd flock. You're expanding with another 13,500 birds, moving into a 2nd shed, so things are obviously going really well for you. I want to try and get a sense of what the job involves on a day-to-day basis. I mean, what time do you start? 5 in the morning?
Oh no, not quite. Not until about 8. And then we come in and open the pop holes, and then we check all the water and the temperature, and check the feed. So those are our first jobs in the morning really, just to check that the birds are all okay. And then we start to collect the eggs. So that's what we do really. And we finish about 12 o'clock, so it's a part-time job.
How much work is involved with the collecting and packaging of the eggs?
Again, it's not physical at all. The eggs come off, it's all very, very automated, which is fantastic. The eggs all come off here on these belts, running along here. There's nest boxes inside, so that you train the hens to lay in the nest boxes, and the eggs come out here, they run along the belts, and then you pack them at the other end and put them onto pallets. So again, it's fantastic really, not difficult.
Now, Bowlers have invested a very impressive £1 million in a state-of-the-art computer system. How does this work for you, Amanda, on a daily basis?
Well, it's great. When we collect all the data for the temperature and the feed and the water, we collect those on daily sheets, which Bowlers have put together for us. And then we take that to the computer, and then we download that straight to Bowlers. So they can then analyse the information we've put through, so that if there is a problem with production or the hen weight, because everything's got a target, then it's all seen very, very soon. So if there are any problems, we're nipping them in the bud rather than getting there when it's too late, basically. So it's fantastic, I think.
You did have a problem with feed with one of your flocks. How was that resolved in the end?
Yes, we did have a problem. Our egg size got slightly too big too soon, and that was not helping our birds at all. So because I was quite concerned about it, and we weren't winning at the time, I actually went straight and rang John Bowler himself, and we were very, very impressed, to be fair. We spoke either text or spoke on the phone every day for about a month, and what he did in the end was he, with his nutritionist, they organised some special feed for us, and it turned it all around really, to be fair. Our birds were just great. The egg size was pulled back slightly. And to be fair, we came out on target after all of that, so we were very, very impressed.
Mark, it seems to me that Amanda is well and truly the boss in the chicken shed. How much do you help out?
Well, there's certain jobs to do on a weekly basis. In the shed there's cleaning of the water drinkers. The food deposits gets left behind, and so they're going to be cleaned out to prevent any build-up of bacteria or whatever. On the scratching area, there's a turn. We use straw as the litter, and there's a turning over that to get the air through it, and eventually it breaks down to dust, which the hens like to bathe in.
Amanda, how much regular contact do you have with Bowlers?
Right, a tremendous amount really. They're available on the telephone 24 hours a day if you need them. And also on top of that, via the computer system, we have mail shots, which can be from 1 a week to 4 a week. It could be the current legislation or new legislation that's come out, or it could be whatever's topical at the time. They're always one step ahead. They're always doing the research and then bringing it back to the producers, so we don't have to actually physically go out and find what the latest thing is. It's always been done for us, so and we can get the mail shots off any time, so it's great. It's all done for us really.
And what about collections and deliveries? How does that work?
We have a feed delivery approximately once every 3 weeks, and then the egg collection lorry comes twice a week, and that's very hassle-free. There's nothing we have to do really. The drivers come in and they collect the eggs, and we have the same driver every time, which is great. He's a really nice chap. There's no agency staff, it's always John Bowler staff, and it works very, very well really.
So when you're not helping Amanda in the chicken shed, you've just got the small matter of running 1,000 sheep. How's it been for you actually diversifying into egg production?
It's been good really. The last few years sheep production has struggled a bit, and well, we thought we'd have to do something else, and going into laying hens has been a big help to us. Yeah, we're very pleased that we've gone into it.
I wish you continued success anyway.
Thank you very much.
How big is the demand for free-range eggs at the moment?
Free-range eggs, the growth grows. The demand for free-range egg continually grows. It absolutely amazes me. And I think in this country we're becoming so passionate about animal welfare. I mean, it's fabulous for us because, I mean, it's promoted in the press, you know, the media and everywhere you go. And it's like reading a recipe, a book for baking something with eggs in it. It'll probably say, take 6 free-range eggs rather than take, you know, ordinary eggs. So everybody's really pushing our industry forward. We've got a ban coming on, you know, the traditional battery cage as we know it. So I just can't see any end to it. You know, and we've invested, you know, £1 million in new offices, and I think we've invested about £5 million in new farms. So we're confident, and we're demonstrating it with our money that we're confident.
What do people in the trade think about you, John?
I think possibly we've got 2 different types of people that judge us. We've got the ones that know us, and everybody that knows us and understands what we do and how we operate. I think we've got an exceptionally good name. However, because we are very successful, it creates a lot of jealousy, particularly in agriculture and in this country. And also because of our business, how we have to tie it up to ensure people are successful, our competitors become very frustrated and jealous and then start slandering us. So unfortunately, there's a lot of backbiting in our industry, and if people don't actually come to meet us and talk to us, we get prejudged, and this is a major obstacle for us. And all I'd say to people is, please come and look at us, come to talk to us, come and meet us, come and see what we do, then judge us. And more importantly, talk to the people that are doing business with us, then judge us.
After spending time with the John Bowler staff and producers, I've now got a real sense of what it's all about. Their 30 years of experience in the industry is applied to every aspect of production, from pullet rearing right through to comprehensive support. It's this knowledge, combined with the commitment of the producers, that makes the franchise scheme work so successfully. And the fact that so many producers are not only just making a profit and doing well, but are expanding, this is a testament to how effective the whole process is. The impression I've got is that it's not just about their history, they're a forward-looking company too. In terms of the investment made and their innovative technology, they're always looking for ways to improve. At the heart of everything seems to be the people. It's a real family business, not just in terms of the Bowler family itself, but the John Bowler team makes up an extended family. A number of the staff I've met have either invested themselves or they've recommended the franchise scheme to members of their own family, and I think that speaks volumes. The John Bowler company really is an open and honest company. I came here to find out if free-range egg production can be a profitable business, and certainly from what I've seen, the John Bowler franchise scheme offers invaluable knowledge and support to make it a genuinely rewarding venture.